Good evening, I'm David Brown, and this is the Northern Sun Experience. All season long, the Augustana Vikings have been at the top of the softball standings. In fact, Augie had lost only 2 conference games heading into the NSIC tournament. But at Sherman Park in Sioux Falls, the Vikings ran into a familiar nemesis in Winona State. The Warriors topped the Vikings twice to win the 2014 softball tournament, and Winona State was looking to do the same thing again this year. The Warriors had already defeated the Vikings earlier in the week, so a win would secure a second straight crown. But Augie was hoping to extend the season. Bottom of the first, Sarah Kennedy laces a double to right. That would score Caitlin Nickel, and the Vikings take an early 1-0 lead. Winona State's Hannah Leifberg would settle down after that, though, getting Kylie Rome to strike out swinging to end the second. The Warriors would break through the scoring column in the fourth. 2 on and 2 out for Natalie Colmus. Double to left field would bring home both runners, and Winona State takes a 2-1 lead over Augustana. Move ahead to the 6th, Warriors still clinging to the 1-run lead. 1 out and 1 on for Augie's Janelle Troutman. She flies to Colmus in right center, but then the junior fires back to Morgan Lintz for the 8-3 inning-ending double play. Great awareness in the field, and Winona State is still up 2-1. And in the 7th, the Warriors would finally add some insurance. Paige Keegan with the single, scoring Colmus from second to make it 3-1, and Keegan would actually advance to third on some Augie errors. The next batter is pinch hitter Jamie Schleiss. Grounder to second scores the pinch runner, and Winona State is up 4-1. Bottom of the 7th, last chance for the Vikings, but Leifberg induces 3 straight groundouts, and Winona State tops Augustana for the conference softball championship for the second straight year. 4-1 is your final, and afterwards head coach Greg Jones and his winning pitcher discussed how the team came together at the right time once again.
We worked at practice. We really worked on taking hits away. We got slow with our feet. We weren't playing defense the way we normally play defense, and some things were getting away from us that way. And I thought that's how we won the tournament. We defended really well this weekend.
It gives us extreme confidence. I mean, we're a great team, and I mean, they are as well. But I mean, on any given day, our team can really do anything that we put our minds to, and no one's really going to stop us.
Defensively, what's so big about that play was that's what we hadn't been doing for the last couple weeks. That was taking a hit away on a short blooper and turning it into 2 outs instead of 1, and again, turning it into outs instead of a base hit. Now they've got a rally going with 2 on and things like that in a big part of the game. So, that's really what we tried to fix defensively, and I think we were able to do that.
It was awesome. It was awesome. There's no other words to describe it, but honestly, I knew my teammates were going to back me up completely with anything I did. So, I mean, I knew I can throw mostly anything, and they were going to help me out with whatever they could do.
Despite the conference championship loss to Winona State, Augustana's regular season record and regular season championship were good enough to earn the top seed and hosting duties in the Central region. Both the Vikings and Warriors will do battle in Sioux Falls yet again this weekend in the first round of the NCAA tournament. On Friday, May 8th, the top-seeded Vikings will take on number 8 seed East Central University out of Oklahoma, while 5th-seeded Winona State will take on the 4th seed Central Oklahoma. The winner of the 4-team regional will advance to the Super Regionals, which take place May 15th and 16th. Staying on the diamond, the 8-team NSIC baseball tournament got underway at multiple locations in Sioux Falls Wednesday afternoon. Now, we taped before these games went final, but here are your first-round matchups. Top-seeded St. Cloud State battles number 8 Northern State. The 4th seed Minnesota Duluth takes on number 5 Wayne State. In the lower half of the bracket, it's number 2 Minnesota State against number 7 Winona State, and number 3 Augustana taking on number 6 Concordia-St. Paul. As a reminder, Midco Sports Network will have live coverage of the NSIC Baseball Championships starting at noon on Saturday, May 9th. When we come back, we'll head to the Howard Wood Dakota Relays and recap some of the top NSIC performers.
The Northern Sun Experience on Midco Sports Network is presented by CU Mortgage Direct LLC, Sanford Health, and Dakota Land Honda.
Welcome back to the Northern Sun Experience. The NSIC Track and Field Championships will take place this weekend at the University of Sioux Falls, but several teams got a warm-up last weekend at the 90th Annual Howard Wood Dakota Relays, and it was a record-setting day for Wayne State. In the 4x100 meter relay, the men's team of Cole Heller, Braxton Adams, William Ernst, and Derek Lom not only finished in first, but they set a new school record at 41.71 seconds. And that was just the start of a great day for the Wildcats. Sara Wells, a 3-time NSIC Athlete of the Week with several throwing records, took first place in both the discus and the shot put. Wayne State had the top 3 discus throwers, 3 of the top 4 shot puts, and 4 of the top 8 hammer throws. Meanwhile, a great NSIC showdown in the men's 100 meters. And in the end, it's Braxton Adams from Wayne State adding a second championship to his resume, besting Augustana's Justin Greenway by more than 0.2 of a second. Wayne State finished with 11 total medalists, while Augustana led all NSIC schools with 14 medalists. Southwest Minnesota State had 4 medalists, and St. Cloud State had 1. And there was more track action and record-breaking in Winona this weekend. The Warriors' Alyssa Roush broke the school and NSIC record with this discus throw of more than 183.5 feet. It breaks the school record by more than 7 feet and the conference record by more than 5 feet. She also broke the Winona State record in the shot put with a throw of just over 49 feet 7 inches, breaking the previous mark by 3/4 of an inch, so congrats to Alyssa on a job well done. Well, from the infield green to the fairway green, for the 7th time in program history, Augustana's women's golf team has qualified for the NCAA National Championships. The Vikings won the Central Region Championship in Oklahoma this week with a combined score of 82 over par. That's 7 strokes ahead of second place Arkansas Tech. Freshman Sierra Langley, who won the NSIC championship just last weekend, won individual medalist honors this weekend with a final score of 11 over par. 2 other NSIC golfers qualified for nationals as individuals, Concordia-St. Paul's Rachel Gray and Sioux Falls' Tavia Rutherford. The NCAA championships start on May 13th in Allendale, Michigan. Well, you just saw some of the throwing power of Wayne State's Sara Wells. When we come back, we'll hear from Sara and her coach about the pursuit of perfection in the field.
The Northern Sun Experience on Midco Sports Network is presented by CU Mortgage Direct LLC, Sanford Health, and Dakota Land Honda.
Welcome back to the Northern Sun Experience. Every week it seems that Sara Wells wins another event or sets another record. The Wayne State senior, as you saw last segment, won the discus and shot put at the Howard Wood Dakota Relays. But the reason for her success is no secret. It's simply an attention to detail. When Sara Wells practices, there's not a whole lot for Coach Brett Sucksdorf to do.
I would like to say I do a lot of coaching, but I kind of sit back and watch her go.
That wasn't always the case, of course. While her coach says she has natural talent and ability, there's a reason Sara's shot put distance has increased from 45 feet as a freshman to an NCAA Division II record 53 feet and 9 inches as a senior.
I think the biggest thing that sets her apart is her competitiveness. She's good in a lot of the other areas. She's very hard worker. Busts her butt in the weight room. Out here in the ring, she really approaches it as, we need to get better at the little things, the little technical aspects.
I've changed up a little bit of technique-wise, kind of just tried to tweak it a little more.
Sara's worked on the smallest of details for the biggest impact, from the location of the shot on her neck to the perfect amount of rotations in the ring.
The most important part would probably be the footwork. Just because if you say over rotate on out of the back for your entry, you don't end up in the middle and you end up compensating and keeping yourself closed off for your power finish. And so it's definitely getting the footwork down and just trying to keep that perfected.
Sara's perfectionism is a family trait. She has 6 older siblings who've all competed in track and field over the years. But she doesn't see it as a burden, just a reason to keep competing and influencing her younger teammates.
I just try to tell them, you just gotta keep your nose to the grind and just push on through. It's tough, but it's definitely worth it in the end.
You don't find that in many people. When the pressure's on, they step up and perform their biggest. They look up to her and they watch every move that she makes and how she approaches the meet, how she approaches every single throw in the competition and at practice.
Well, if Sara is one of the best in the field, then the University of Mary's Catherine Stewart is one of the best on the track. Stewart's various accomplishments have earned her lots of national recognition from a country where she's realized her dreams. Marissa DiCandido explains how the Jamaica native has found a new foundation for her success.
Track and field seems like a pretty universal sport.
Stewart of Mary, lane number 4.
But when Catherine Stewart started her running career at UMary, she had to adjust to a couple differences.
So in Jamaica, like most of our track meets were on grass track. And when we would train, we were training like in our sneakers on grass track. So it was kind of a struggle, kind of. But when you came here on like the Chevron on this track, you would be like so much faster because, you know, it wasn't on the dirt or anything. So that was way better.
It didn't take Stewart long to race ahead of the competition. She's run at the NCAA Nationals 7 times between indoor and outdoor track.
She's extremely talented. She's probably one of the most gifted athletes we've ever had, that I've ever coached, and I've coached some great ones.
Stewart credits Coach Thorson for much of her success.
He's just been patient with me, and he knows, like, he believes that I'm a good athlete. And when you have someone believing in you, you end up doing good.
She's proven that point, earning All-American honors 7 times throughout her career. Now that's a big accomplishment, even if she didn't quite know it at first.
I would say when I understood what the All-American and Conference trophy meant, because when I just got here, it was like, oh, I got an All-American, but I'm like, okay, you know? So when I actually understood what it meant and I actually received it, I was so happy, and I know, like, oh, I worked so hard for this.
And Stewart's hard work has pushed her teammates to do better too.
And when you get somebody like that, people look up to that talent, and obviously, you know, running with relay with her, I mean, she's got expectations for her teammates, and people usually live up to their expectations.
Stewart says she's hoping they can beat those expectations this year because she wants to add some more All-American honors before she graduates.
Coming up next, we go under the northern sun at Southwest Minnesota State University in Marshall, Minnesota.
The Northern Sun Experience on Midco Sports Network is presented by CU Mortgage Direct LLC, Sanford Health, and Dakota Land Honda.
And welcome back to the Northern Sun Experience. It's time for Under the Northern Sun, where we shine the spotlight on one of our member schools. Tonight, it's Southwest Minnesota State University in Marshall, Minnesota, a campus that's building relationships between athletes and their community.
Southwest Minnesota State University opened its doors in 1967 and offers 50 majors, 48 minors, as well as pre-professional programs, master's degrees, and distance learning opportunities. Personal attention is what sets SMSU apart. With an 18-to-1 student-to-teacher ratio, students receive the individual attention they desire as they pursue their academic goals. The campus has been transformed over the last decade, with over $150 million of construction, renovation, and improvements, including a new student center, a renovated library and science labs, along with the Schwann Regional Events Center. SMSU is proud of its rich tradition in intercollegiate athletics. The university offers 17 sports, including 7 men's sports, 9 women's sports, and 1 co-ed. Mustang teams have captured more than 60 conference championships, 2 NCAA region championships, 3 wheelchair basketball national titles, and has had 4 individual national champions. More impressive than the on-field accomplishments for Mustang student athletes has been the success off the field of play. The last 2 academic years have seen more than 350 Mustang student athletes generate an athletics department record GPA of nearly 3.1.
You know, the one thing that I truly believed in is that the characteristics that a student athlete has in the classroom that allows them to be successful are the same types of characteristics that we need to be successful in our sport.
SMSU student athletes are also very involved with various civic engagement projects throughout the community. SMSU Athletics has been honored 5 times with the Division II Community Engagement Award of Excellence for various events, including the Egg Bowl, Smoke Fest, and the Mustang Shootout.
Civic engagement as a whole has been an extremely important part of the success of our department, and I truly believe that the coaches and student athletes' impact in the community has directly impacted our department from a fundraising standpoint, and in a number of ways. Corporate sponsorships have been up over the last couple years. as well as the attendance at our events.
One of the major projects SMSU student athletes are involved with is Mustang Mail,
where our student athletes and the public school system get together and we impacted their language arts program and some curriculum where we actually communicate with young people in the elementary school via writing letters, and we're very fortunate to be able to have our student athletes go out into the community.
Our students, they play such an active role as it is right now, and I think what they do, they symbolize, especially for young people, what those young people can do, what they can strive to do, who they can strive to be. They really represent so much hope, so much promise, and they give people opportunities and a vision to strive for that a lot of these young kids wouldn't have had otherwise if they didn't come into contact with our athletes, with our students.
Doing camps and other community activities are awesome, and it really puts in perspective what we are as student athletes. I mean, there's more to life than just your sport, and for some of us, you realize that sooner than later than life. So, and it's amazing that we can give back in those fashions, because not everyone gets that opportunity of doing that, and you can really make a huge influence on the community and even for us as student athletes. I mean, there's a lot of us who want to be coaches and want to do different activities in our respective sport.
Our students are strong students, and our student athletes are very, very strong students in the classroom, in their labs, and on the field. And that's the important thing, that they have this balance in their lives. They're really students first, they're student athletes. And we are so proud of the fact their GPAs are so strong. The cumulative GPAs are so strong and are increasing every year, which is the important part as well. So they're students and athletes, and we are developing them for life. And they work on their character, they work on their academics, they work on their involvement, and of course the athletic competitions as well. It all plays into it.
Mustang Athletics, combining academics, community involvement, and student-athlete excellence. Southwest Minnesota State University. Your success story begins here.
When we come back on the Northern Sun Experience, for the second straight year, a Concordia-St. Paul football player is getting a shot in the NFL. We'll hear from new Cincinnati Bengals kicker Tom Obarski next.
The Northern Sun Experience on Midco Sports Network is presented by CU Mortgage Direct LLC, Sanford Health, and Dakota Land Honda.
And welcome back to the Northern Sun Experience. Last season, Zach Moore became the first Concordia-St. Paul football player to be drafted into the NFL. He was selected by the New England Patriots in the 6th round of the 2014 draft. Of course, Moore's rookie season went pretty well, ending with a Super Bowl championship over the Seattle Seahawks. And now another Golden Bear has a golden opportunity in the league. Kicker Tom Obarski signed a free agent contract with the Cincinnati Bengals on Saturday, and he joins us now on the phone from Minnesota. First of all, Tom, how does it feel to be signed by Cincinnati?
It feels amazing to be a Bengal. Just excited for every opportunity and just to go out there and get started and see what the future holds.
Now, Tom, you were invited to the Senior Bowl back in January and had a pretty good performance. Did that help elevate your stock a little bit?
After the Senior Bowl is when things kind of started to pick up, and so we started hearing from teams, just to some general contact information, some a little bit more than others, and it's after the Senior Bowl is when things really started to take off.
Now, based on where you signed, I assume the Bengals and special teams coach Darren Simmons took the most interest in you throughout this process?
The Bengals were a team that came up and had a workout with me, and then they were the only team that I took a visit out to as well. And so talking with Coach Simmons, I expected to hear back from them after the draft, and when I got the call from him, I was relieved and excited to be talking with the Bengals and to see what my future might hold with them. And so kind of going through the process, I was talking with Coach Simmons quite a bit, yes.
Tom, you come into camp with the Bengals already having an 11-year veteran kicker in Mike Nugent, whom the Bengals just signed to a new contract. How do you view the situation knowing that you have to beat him out for a roster spot?
I think it'll be a great competition just to go in there and obviously hopefully take some advice from a veteran kicker and just kind of go in there and do what I know I can do best and bring my talents and my skills in there to hopefully try to level up with him and maybe take the spot, but just hope for some competition during training camp and kind of see where things lead and just to build on that experience and take advantage of every opportunity that I can.
And finally, Tom, now that you've signed with Cincinnati, what's the next step?
I went out to Cincinnati for a visit a few weeks ago, but since I signed, I'm finishing up finals week here and heading out there on Thursday to get into the rookie mini camp and then into the off-season program as well.
Once again, that was Tom Obarski, former Concordia-St. Paul kicker, now with the Cincinnati Bengals. And two other NSIC athletes also signed rookie free agent contracts with NFL teams over the weekend. Minnesota State offensive lineman Chris Reed agreed to terms with the Jacksonville Jaguars, while Upper Iowa quarterback Cole Jaskey inked a deal with the Carolina Panthers. Once again, a thank you to all of our NSIC member schools for their contributions to this week's show. We'll be back next week right here for another Northern Sun Experience.